What's up guys, SkyKevin here, and today I'm going to be going over a first look at the game Last Oasis. This is a game that I've been anticipating for a couple of months now, and coming off a year-long Atlas stint, I'm excited to finally have this game launch to take Atlas's place. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and let's get into it. This game is very well done. The combat is fun and engaging against players and enemies alike. The walkers are very cool with their own unique capabilities and uses themselves. The game encourages PvP and fighting other groups, but it also gives players the ability to move their walkers and store them in safe areas where they can't be AFK griefed by other players. There's a rich history of lore to the game, and stylistically it all plays out quite well, and the mechanics and physics-based system that they have allows for a lot of excellent realistic movements and unique maneuvers, especially with the grappling hook, giving people the ability to move through areas very differently. And I cannot stress enough how well the game takes care of many of the facets of keeping players in the PvP action, but without the worry of ever getting sort of AFK raided and that sort of thing. And all the bases themselves have an extreme amount of mobility that works really well to keep people on the move at all times. Okay, before I get into this list, I want everyone to know that I'm not bringing these up as fundamental criticisms of the game, but I do believe that it is a really good game, and the critiquing is really just for things that I think might make it better, and things that I'm a little worried about. We'll see how it plays out in the future. A lot of this is just based on a first look, so I don't actually know how well that will be the case. The servers, by now, everyone knows, are getting a little wonky and crashing quite a bit, but this was an expectation of mine going into an MMO because every MMO that I've ever played has always had launch problems in regards to a large player base trying to access their servers all at once. So this one I'm willing to forgive, and it's not a huge deal, but it has led to a lot of angry players and that sort of thing, especially people who have purchased the game with no ability to play and have not gotten a chance to try it yet. The next thing that I think is a little bit of a disappointing feature is the fact that I think Oasises are going to be very repetitive over time. Now, I haven't gotten to explore quite a few of them, but from what I've seen, many of the Oasis look and feel the same, if not with a little bit of a change to a few different things. I haven't had a chance to fully explore them, but from what I've seen, it all just looks sort of like a rehash of the same thing, especially when it comes to looting fragments and that sort of thing. All of the models are kind of used over and over again, and you can see that when you're going around the outskirts of the desert looking for fragments. They always seem to be very similar in design, and will probably end up getting boring / annoying after seeing them for quite a while. I wanted a specific category for this because so far they haven't really unlocked the hard mode portion of the game, and if those of you who don't know, there are these tablets that consist of sort of a tier 2 crafting tree that you can only get in the harder zones in this game. I don't know how to get them, but I'm hoping it's going to be difficult to acquire them. I think this will keep players interested in doing the regular tasks of getting fragments and materials in order to keep up with unlocking these tablets, and if it's very difficult, it'll last far into the late game. If we get to the point that everyone can build a Titan, let's say in the first 2 weeks of the game, it will make farming fragments, the tier 2 fragments, the tablets, basically useless for many players, and thus ruin a really good part of the content of the game, a very large part of it. And this could be said for the same as your character level. Right now, I think they have a really good balance of experience gained through both gathering and killing enemies and that sort of thing, which works really well to passively level up your character. I've heard the max level, though, is only level 60, and I'm hoping that the experience curve will be very, very noticeable enough that it takes a long time to get fully leveled for your character. And the reason for this is I'm already level 30 in the first day, and if that's the case, by the time we, have a full 2 weeks of release, there would be quite a few people that have hit max level, and now that whole aspect of experience gathering is now null and useless because they've already hit it in the first couple days of the game. I think it will ruin that experience as being a driving incentive for many players, and if they have a large skill curve, then it will take a lot longer for people to get up there, and they will really only be benefiting from a few skill points, so it makes sense for them to do that. Finally, when it comes to walkers, once again, I think that the ships need to have a high max level, and they should have some sort of marker in terms of their leveling up ability, so that once again, it takes a long time to get them to a max level or to get them to a very high level. And by having them up there in terms of a high level and whatnot, you can have a lot of ships that may be known to be sort of legendary ships, or ships that take a lot of resources to get to the point where they're at, where people will really cherish them and garner them as, you know, these are the server destroyer types of ships, as opposed to everybody just quickly having to grind out for the, you know, maybe a week worth of materials just to get their ship to this level, and then that's that. If we can manage those walkers, the levels for characters, and the fragments and skills to give a slight benefit, but still be very difficult to reach a maximum or to reach a higher level, I think it would really help with these problems, because the progression would be a slow grind, so to speak, but it would be a grind through playing the game and having a lot of PvP experiences and stuff that people would enjoy, but at the same time they know that while they're doing all these different things when it comes to gathering and fighting and leveling up, that they are still getting further in terms of character, walker, and skill progression. In terms of future, I think this game has a lot of potential to do very well. They have many different avenues to expand the universe with new enemies, mechanics, and walkers, and a lot of items to keep people interested and involved. And in the best case scenario, it would be if they were to reach a pinnacle of nomadic PvP where there's always something for the players to do, whether it's hunting sandworms out in the desert or foraging for super rare minerals when they're in the Oasis. There's definitely like a lot of potential, and I'm very excited to be playing non-stop along the way, getting as much of that PvP action as I can, and being able to progress my character forwards along with my walkers and everything else. I've got a lot of future videos planned, going over some of the more minute details of the game, as well as some tutorials and in-depth info of how things work, so make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow me on Twitch for more. The links will be in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.